The big day had arrived for us to leave San Diego and head to the Middle East. And the first 7 days of the transit were spent doing an exercise designed to increase our capability to defend ourselves. And we were doing this exercise with 2 other ships, USS Harry W. Hill, USS Gary. The Admiral was embarked on Harry W. Hill conducting the exercise. And the plan was for the exercise to be over the following Friday afternoon at 5 p.m., at which point we were to enter Pearl Harbor and spend the night on Waikiki Beach. The way we enter port in the Navy is by the data rank of the senior officer on each ship. The Admiral was on Harry W. Hill. They were to go in first. By data rank, I was the junior captain in the entire Pacific Fleet. We would always go in last. Well, instead of being over at 5 p.m. the following Friday afternoon, the exercise was unexpectedly over at 9 a.m. that morning, and we're sitting off the coast of Waikiki, steaming in circles, wasting fuel, waiting for 5 o'clock to roll around. And through my binoculars, I could see tourists on the beach in Waikiki drinking Bloody Marys and Mai Tais. And I'm thinking, this is stupid. What are we doing out here when we could be there? So I called the captain of the Harry W. Hill. Why don't you ask the Admiral to go in early? He said, I can't. I've got an engineering problem. I can only fix it at sea. I called the captain of the USS Gary. And I'm calling them on an encrypted satellite voice radio that any sailor on any of the 3 ships can punch in the button and listen to the conversation. I called the captain of the Gary. He was a traditionalist, top-down, command and control. Don't challenge the plan. He excoriates me in public. Who are you to challenge the plan? Shut up, you're going in last. So I called the Admiral. I got nothing to lose, I'm the junior guy. And in a very gruff voice, he demanded to know why he should grant Benfold something he's not granting the other 2 ships. I said, well, sir, the exercise is over. We're wasting fuel steaming in circles. I said, I got a piece of broken equipment I can only fix in port. And besides, my crew's been working hard. I want to put them on the beach in Waikiki early. To my utter amazement, he said, permission granted. Now, I was 2 decks above my operations center where 30 sailors were on watch. When he said permission granted, I could hear cheering through 2 decks of steel. Now, we have 4 engines on the ship, and our normal configuration is only to steam on 1 engine because we save the most amount of fuel. You can do up to 18 knots. Everywhere we go, 18 knots or less. But you can do 24 knots on 2 engines, but use twice the amount of fuel. You can do 27 knots on 3 engines, and you can do 31 knots on 4 engines. When the Admiral said permission granted, I put all 4 engines online, came up to full power, and when we're at full power, it is so powerful, it kicks up a rooster tail of water that's 2 stories high. Scream into Honolulu, tied up by 10:30, cruise off the ship by 11 on their way to Waikiki. We never did save taxpayers 1 drop of fuel that day. Next day, we get underway to continue our transit to the Middle East, and the first sailor comes up for his interview. He says, you know, Captain, it seems to us, the crew, that you don't care if you ever get promoted again. And I said, where on earth did you get that from? He said, what you did for us yesterday. He said, you challenged the plan. He said, you had nothing to gain. You did it for us. We want you to know we got your back. And that was the day that the crew started to trust. And they realized that the course that we were laying out for them was the one that they needed to get on board because it's going to put us in a position to be number 1. And you guys know how important trust is in your line of work. You know, your customers, me included, you know, trust your products. And it's something that we got to go out and defend every day. And it's something that if we can develop that trust, you know, among our teams, that's also the foundation upon which great things happen. People collaborate better. They work together better as a team. You know, also that you can put yourselves in a position to control your own destiny. And that's all I wanted for my crew, was to be the leader in our industry.